types of parties in 2018.
Wait, Lauren.
1 in 6 or 7 Americans attended this Old South party. That's not accurate at all.
Yeah, I know. So I don't know. Number one, where did he get these statistics from? And he didn't even know. Like, he must have known he was going to get this loaded question. Number one, if he was that.
Either
obviously
that,
his statistics
as it goes along.
Right. All right. I'm going to give you my opinion. My opinion is Chris Harris took a huge bullet for the team of the Bachelor franchise, because I think Matt's going to pick the girl that they're accusing of racism because of this photo. Okay. Or not. I mean, are they really accusing this kid of racism, or just like, this isn't a good look, like you should have known better? But I don't know. What is it?
It depends on who you talk to. You talk to Bachelor Reddit and they are like, pitchforks out. Everything is wrong. The whole show. Everybody,
because why? Because they cast her with this picture being out?
Yes. Like, what's the screening process like?
Okay. All right. I read
trying to address social issues or not.
I read that they deeply screened them and that picture got by. And I wonder if someone just saw a bunch of girls in the dress and just kept going and didn't even think, oh, it's a prom. Or, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, because honestly, I got to tell you, me looking at that picture, I would have not thought. Now I see it, but I wouldn't have thought it was racist because I wouldn't have understood where she was.
I mean, unless
the you know what I mean?
Right. Unless you grew up in the South and in the fraternity scene where these are happening. I don't know if I was fraternity sorority adjacent college. I knew these people. I didn't know the people on the show, but I was familiar with this fraternity. I don't. I know better. Like, I can look at and see how it's.
Honestly, me being from up here and not even going to college or any fraternity, me just scrolling past that picture wouldn't have got it right away. But you're right. Other people, I mean, that's their job to freaking know that shit and to screen them out.
Well, then also, you have there's a couple of different cases that have been coming up where, we have former Bachelorette Hannah Brown. They found a photo of her attending.
She deleted it. They caught her deleting an old photo of her at one of those ball things again.
Yeah,
what
that was her first offense. A debutante ball, I think.
Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Those are popular.
It's like a bells of the ball or something.
Oh, okay, because is it a debutante? Is that the same as a debutante ball where they bring them out like ready to introduce them to a man? It was an old Southern tradition.
Yeah, I think it's something similar to that, like a similar concept.
Oh, do you still think they do the debutante balls?
Absolutely.
But they're not bad, are they? Because it's not a Southern, or is it the same idea?
I think the tradition is pretty icky.
Yeah,
I know, but it's a tradition, and I don't know if is that racist
tradition, but
the debutante ball, isn't that you're debuting your daughter to be courted?
I mean, that's what you saw with Bridgerton. That is essentially what they did. All the summer balls were
right.
You're ready to be introduced to all the men.
I don't see a problem. It's old school, whatever. It's not like they're really going to meet a man. It's just a tradition, I guess. What do I know? I'm an old lady. I don't know. I'm going to debut my kid. If you're rich, I'm fucking debuting her, Lauren.
You can have her.
I'm presenting her to all the rich men to take her. Thank you, Lauren. That's where I'm at with that.
So another one, another cast member from, I believe, Nick Viall's season, Demi, came out. She actually apologized.
The little fake lesbian.
So she, I guess she had a photo of herself wearing a Confederate flags jacket.
Yes, it had a Confederate flag was on the arm of it. It was like a bomber jacket.
But she addressed it and said, I'm sorry, and I'm not going to go into her apology, but she said something about it, whereas I think the beef with Hannah is that she just deleted this photo over the weekend after the Chris Harrison and Rachel interview.
Yeah.
You just kind of deleted it under the rug and didn't say anything.
Right.
So it's like kind of like saying, I know it was wrong and now I'm just going to delete it, but not admit that, you know, I've grown or whatever. And I think that's kind of the angle that certain people are coming from.
Yeah. But so how many people do you think deleted their picture of themselves at this ball?
Right?
Over the weekend, right?
Hundreds, 50 million if you're Chris Harrison.
Yeah.
But 50, that's, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's crazy.
So, you know, sorry.
No, but yeah, so my whole thing was by saying that I think Chris Harris took the bullet was that I think Matt picks her. I'm pretty sure he's going to pick her. That's how it looks to me. I don't think he's going to marry. They're not going to get married. I just think like I could tell, obviously that's who he's leaning towards. And I think obviously Chris knows who he picks, right? Because it's been done. And I think that was trying to stick up for it because once he picks her and this after the rose ceremony, and now she's a racist, problematic, and they're considering her racist, and she's now probably engaged to a black man, and now he's going to be forced to dump her because she's racist or make a big excuse about how much he's seen Rachel has grown in this short time. And I think Chris Harris knows, and he was taking one for the entire Bachelorette franchise, and it came back and bit him in the ass. I think he was like, oh shit, he's going to pick her. And now we really got a mess.
Yeah.
And I think he went about it all wrong. Instead of saying Rachel has grown and learned, you know what I mean? Blah, blah, blah. That's not right. I think he just like snapped. I don't know. I think
the other piece is that Rachel, the contestant who you're saying you think is the final rose at the end, she didn't say anything. So like this picture came out and like she's taking heat. She's under contract with The Bachelor. Like,
but was it already in the news before Rachel asked him?
Yes, that's why she asked him. But it all happened within the last like week and a half.
So Rachel could have came out with a statement in between, you're saying?
There was no statement, nothing.
But she could have. There was enough time, right?
I don't know what's in her Bachelor contract, but yes, there was time.
Oh, there's a contract. So you're right, too, because we don't know. Oh. So, yeah, the whole thing is messy all the way around.
Yeah.
It's not a good look for The Bachelor, which is already not a good look to begin with. They've been so problematic. Now they say Chris Harris is done. Now they're claiming they're looking. I don't know for sure if he's done, but they're saying he's done.
Yeah, he's stepping away for.
Right. I just think Chris Harris is tired. He's like, I've been dealing with this shit long enough. It's too much. I'm done. I don't know. Yeah. He's probably like, I'm never going to work again. Let me get out while I still. Right.
He's in the past few seasons, he's even had less of a role. Like, I can see your point about him just being like, okay, I've been doing this for a long time. Like
I'm not going to get any other gigs if I'm working for this problematic show, number one. So you're right. Who knows? I don't know what else goes on behind the scenes.
Right.
There might be a lot of problematic shit. And Chris Harris is like, look, I need to work in this town, so I can't be dealing with all your bullshit.
He's an executive producer, so he's tied to it from a host and producing perspective.
Okay. All right. Also, I wanted to say that I thought that this season had the most diverse cast of women.
Absolutely.
You know, I mean, not that I didn't get to meet their families. I don't know how many of them actually talked about their nationality because I know Tayshia, I had said to you, what was her nationality? And then I remembered her family visit, right? Wasn't her mother Mexican and her father black, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Her family was adorable. It all came back. That cute mother that looked just like her.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yep. So a lot of the girls on this season, I'm not sure. The one girl that I think is absolutely adorable she's like Filipino looking, but I don't know exactly. But there looks to be like Latina, Black, Filipino, you know what I mean? It's very mixed.
So in the final four right now, because that's where we are, we have Rachel, and then who is a white girl.
Yes.
And then we have 3 women of color.
Right. Are the other 3 are?
Yes, they all identify as women of color.
Okay. And then when was the Filipino? Did he get rid of her? She might not have been Filipino, but she looked maybe Polynesian. I don't know. I thought she was adorable. She was one of my favorites. And you told me she was drama filled.
Yes.
She had some, and I'm like, oh my God, I totally missed the drama.
Yeah. She's no longer on there, but she was there this week.
Yeah. So I can't remember, but I don't know. She looked maybe of Asian. I don't know, but it was very ethnic looking like that. Just a whole melting pot of different. But also, let's put this now. They got all these white guys on, okay, previous bachelors, and do you think they have to typecast their type?
I was listening to Not Skinny, Not Fat or Juicy Scoop this week, and they were talking about it, and they had Chris Harrison on. I didn't listen to that one, but she was recapping it, and she said like the contestants, like the diversity of the contestants is they just don't get a lot of applicants. Like the majority of their applicants are white.
Ah, true.
Who knows how true that is? Like he could have been BSing or saying that, but
also you need to cast what the guy do you think he's even like, all right, I prefer
I never saw that. That's such
dark haired girls, right? I mean, doesn't everybody have a type?
Is each season like that? Like, is it all?
I have noticed some seasons they're way more blonde girls, like Jake. Remember that jerk?
Ben Higgins season was all the blondes too. Like it was 3 or 4 Laurens. Like everybody was a Lauren. They all had blonde hair.
Right. And this season was all dark haired women. Right. There wasn't only the 21-year-old.
Now, what to consider is that this season was cast after the murder of George Floyd. So they cast these women after.
But also, Matt clearly has a type. He didn't keep all the blondes.
That's true.
Right? Or redhead.
Me, his type is Tyler Cameron. But
thank you. I am totally convinced.
We have the most chemistry of anyone on the show that we've seen.
No shame in Matt's game if he's gay, bi. But Matt is clearly in love with Tyler. Okay. Tyler is his roommate, Jen, who went to the end and didn't get the rose from Hannah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Tyler is ridiculously good looking too. Like he's so good looking. It's like, are you even real?
He has some underwear. He does some underwear modeling for Calvin Klein before and after the show. So
yes, he was a model.
He's
in fitness, dude. But he's outrageously good looking. But of course, Jen, guess what his job was? Construction worker.
Oh.
I don't think he ever picked up a hammer. No, I'm just kidding.
I believe his dad ran.
Yes, but I don't think his father even did any work. I think they have like money. He comes from like money.
Like Tampa. That was his summer job in high school, was like helping out with his dad's business.
Right. And his father was in an office somewhere or in the trailer on the job sites. I don't think, yeah. So, right. I agree. But yeah, he's that. Okay. So Matt James is his roommate. And I'll tell you, I think Matt is the sweetest guy. Boring. He's a sweetheart. He does a lot with kids, a lot of volunteer work. Hopefully that's not all fake.
No, he and Tyler had that ABC Tours program in New York where they do like food and kids and definitely a community effort.
But so they had Tyler come on and Matt got to pull a little prank on him, Jen, where he had this masseuse massaging him and they were like talking in her ear to him and his little date to do weird things. And then of course he had to close it out with him getting on top of Tyler and massaging his back to trick him. I'm creeped out. I was officially, when he climbed up on his back and that look on his face of joy.
Tyler's back.
The look of joy. And I was like, he's so in love with him. And then he was laughing and hugging him on his back. Oh my, it was creepy, which is fine. but you're on The Bachelor and you have no chemistry